Yo, what is going on, guys? It's C-Brab. Welcome to another MLB The Show 19 card review. Today we're going to be going over the highly requested 95 overall Signature Series Kerry Wood. This card is obtainable through making Pennant Race in ranked seasons and choosing him out of the choice pack, or you can also get him off the marketplace. He's currently selling for around 9,000 stubs. So I have pretty much nothing but positive things to say about this card. I think there's a lot of merit to be using this card from a competitive standpoint, and if I'm rambling a bit, it's just because I want to get everything that I've been thinking about with this card covered. So obviously good per nines except for the control. The control is definitely what's going to hold you back with this card, and so the way I kind of went into using him, the way I was thinking was maybe he's a better version of Nolan Ryan. And I don't think Nolan Ryan is very good on this game for a multitude of reasons, but this card is definitely a lot like Nolan Ryan, but much better. I think this card is very good, and I'm going to kind of go into the breakdown, which I've been doing with a lot of pitchers in recent card reviews, and that is I think this card gets better or worse depending on what difficulty you're playing on. So if you're playing on All-Star difficulty, I don't think this card is very good. That's because this is a card that relies on his stuff, specifically his changes in velocity. I think this card should be pretty much throwing four-seam cutter and slurve about 80% of the time together in total. You really struggle to get bad swings on All-Star because you have so much longer to react to different pitches. So on All-Star, I don't think this card is that good. I generally try to pitch with slower throwers on All-Star for that reason. But as you progress up, this card just gets more and more insane. On Hall of Fame difficulty, I think this is a tier 1 starting pitcher. Obviously, like I said, the control is going to be an issue, so I guess maybe practice with his delivery, or just don't try to paint the corners. Maybe just put the ball a little off the corner, maybe cover a little more of the plate, so if you miss, you might still throw a strike, etc. But I just can't stress enough how good this guy's stuff is. He's basically Goose Gossage, but he's a starting pitcher, and he has a ridiculously good cutter instead of a mediocre sinker. So take that for what you will. Definitely a tier 1 starter in Hall of Fame difficulty, and on Legend difficulty, this card is up there, maybe a top 3 pitcher in the game. This card can literally hit 102 miles an hour. That's the fastest I threw with his four-seamer. I've seen a lot of 101s as well. Couple that with the fact that his cutter sits around 90 to 93, and his slurve sits around 83 to 86. So that is an insane amount of speed differential, and when you're playing on Legend difficulty, you have such a short time frame to react as the hitter that it's going to be very easy to get someone to swing early at cutters and late on four-seamers. This card's stuff is just so good. Maybe even on Hall of Fame you'll get some similar results, but for Legend, this card is just one of the best cards in the game. I just can't stress enough how good his stuff is. Like I already said, I wouldn't throw the 12-6 maybe ever, maybe like once or twice a game, and then I wouldn't really throw the changeup that often either. The way you're going to get outs with this card is by gassing them up and slowing them down, and throwing knee-bending slurves. This card's slurve has so much break too. You'll see it in the clips after this intro, but I pitch with Classic, and so you can see the arrows which show you how much movement he has. The amount of movement this card has on his slurve is just insane, especially in the first inning when he's got full energy and everything. You guys will see it. Four-seam cutter slurve, that's really all you need with this card, and you're going to get a lot of wink contact and a lot of swing and misses. So I've been talking for a while, but overall I think this card is insanely good, especially if you play on 700 rating or higher, and I definitely would recommend having him in your rotation if you're looking for the best rotation possible. So as always, we'll rate the card how he rates in the meta, and we'll rate him compared to how much he costs. How he rates in the meta, I'll give him an A-, very close to an A. The only issue you're going to run into is if you can throw strikes, so get your practice in. And for how much he costs, I'll give him an A+. He's right up there with Wainwright, where he's like one of the best pitchers in the game, and he's basically free. So A plus for the price as well. Sorry, I keep burping and it's making my voice sound absolutely stupid. But A plus for the price. This card is cost you next to nothing, and he's absolutely sick. So I'm excited to report that this card is good because we've never really had a Kerry Wood card in the game. And I was hoping, as I'm sure a lot of Cubs fans were, not that I'm a Cubs fan, that this card would be insanely good, and he definitely is. So go try him out. I hope you all enjoyed this card review. Drop a comment down below if you want me to review someone specific. I am busting through many of the finest cards, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, I'll knock out any new SIGs that come out as well. Enjoy the clips after this, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
First pitch of the at-bat. Reaches down and hits this one on the ground to short. Albies brings it in. Throw on to the first baseman, Murray. Lamar. No one aboard for him, and two gone here in the first. The windup and the 0-1. Here we go. This is swung on and popped up. Crossing into foul territory now. This will be the cleanup hitter, Jason Giambi. And they've got some work to do early on. Down 4-0 already. First pitch hacking here, and that's the first strike. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And they really bunch him up on that. Into the plate now. Duke Snyder will try to make something happen with two gone in the bottom of the second. Hit in the air down the right field line. After it is Soler, and no one will track it down. 2 out, nobody on. Now a big fastball, and he's well behind it with the swing.
Hey, from an offensive standpoint, you better get it ready. This guy is not throwing it.
A swing and a miss. Now Buster Posey, and his guys have quite a hill to climb. Down 5-0 here in the early going.
Lots of baseball left in this one as we're still early on, but you don't want to fall too far behind. They're already down by a bundle, and one of the things you want your leadoff guy to get on and set the table for the big boys to start driving in some runs.
Checks his swing, but this will be strike 2 called. Swing and a miss.